So these lights are what we're making today. I really like the design of these. I designed them from the ground up to be kind of the cyberpunk sci-fi, but yet kind of modern. Throw as many adjectives as you want. That's kind of the aesthetic I was going for. I made these in Blender just because it's free, super easy to use. I did make a little tutorial video with an arc reactor on how to make that, but these are for a grow light, so I'm using these grow light bulbs. They will fit any standard bulb. I don't know if these grow lights actually work, but we'll find out. And then I just got this regular socket holder. It's a 15-foot cable with a switch that we can actually cut off later on to reuse. But yep, so I just sat for a few hours making these models. They're pretty simple, really. They're not super complex. And once I throw them on the printer, I printed them out. I couldn't get them in an orientation that didn't require me to print support material, but I just have to rip that off and sand. Now I did make the bit of a snafu here where I used white filament, so light shines right through it, which is a bit of a fumble, especially since these take like 27 hours to print. I was able to recover this one print by just spraying the inside with a couple coats of black spray paint, but definitely a miss. Anyway, so I can print two more, this time in black, as they're supposed to be. I did print these with PLA. I tried PETG, but I was just having problems. Now this I made to hold the wires equidistant from each other. This is just like a wire guide, a hanger, whatever you want to call it. Really helps keep the look consistent. This is in the basement, so I'm able to throw a wire into the utility room, which is on the other side of the wall, and I'm going to tap this junction box here and actually add an outlet. So to do that, all I need is some 14-AUG wire for this particular circuit, and then some basic parts. And then I did cut little strips for the extensions.
Very easy to do now, of course. The safety nuts out there would get on me if I said to not turn on the power. So I did actually turn off the power here. Twist the wire in the direction that you're going to be screwing. Of course, there's a bajillion videos on YouTube by professionals on how to wire an outlet, but it's pretty basic. So I'm just doing it for this video, and I needed to do it anyways.
Now that I have all the shells printed, I need to get these to the right length. So I've got them laid out here with the hanger. Then I just need to cut the wire and split the ends. Once they're split, I can wind them through. I do need to make sure that it's going in the right direction. The model is made so that these can actually go through in a certain direction so that they all twist around to the left. Next, I can use a utility knife to do the splitting of the ends to make sure it all goes together nicely. Now I just need to remove this switch, so I'm just going to cut that off so that I can re-solder it on in the right position, which is going to be above the hanger, and the switch is actually going to be above the joint where I join all three cables together. Once I've patched those together, I have one line going into the section where it joins together.
I couldn't actually show me screwing in this particular eye hole screw because I'm up on a ladder, but I did screw in this guy right here.
Oh my goodness, that is super blurry. You will have to reach up to turn the switch. I also got a basic timer. This is because this is for a grow light, so I do want it to turn on and off in different intervals. Next up, we have some masking to do to make sure that we can have the white separated from the black. So I already painted these all black, and then I painted them with white paint. I didn't show that, but then I peel off the masking tape and it looks pretty good. Now, of course, we're going to get a little bit of bleeding in some of these lines because we are dealing with spray paint, so I did spray some extra black paint in a cap, and I'm just touching up the paint here. So those three look pretty good now. The next thing, I'm going to use some semi-gloss clear coat. I'm going to do that to all of them so I get a nice sheen, gives it more of a finished look. Next up, I do want to make sure I drill some holes here so that I can get nice heat flow out of each of these canisters. This is because I'm using grow lights, which do get hot. So if you're using any kind of bulb that's going to generate a non-negligible amount of heat, you're going to want to make sure you have some ventilation here on these models. And just lastly, I'm going to re-specify that these flanges go underneath and above. So it's going to sandwich the shell to keep it from moving up or down relative to the actual wire socket. And one final mention here is you want to use something other than hot glue. I'm a huge fan of hot glue, but in this case, you're going to want to use super glue or something that's not temperature sensitive because these are going to get warm. But that's all there is to this build. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, you can just check out my models. They're going to be in a link below, and go make some stuff.